Hello, everybody. Wish you all a very happy World GNM or GHK Day. I am Dr. B Archana, a consultant homeopath from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. No one born on this earth, be it an animal or a human being, can escape pain. Everyone knows what pain is, how it feels. But pain is the least understood part when it comes to our own health. I consider myself to be the best person to speak on this topic because before learning GNM or GHK and conversing with my mentor, Dr. CJ Varghese sir, I used to take painkillers like chocolates. In fact, I carry a strip of painkillers with me always. I used to carry a pain bomb in my handbag also. So today, in my presentation, I try to give a 360-degree view about pain. I trust if learned properly, you will be in a better position to handle your pains rightly and biologically. No pain, no gain. GHK understanding of pain. Happy birthday to Dr. Hammer. We are celebrating his birthday as World GHK or GNM Day so that the precious knowledge and the discoveries of Dr. Hammer is passed on to generation after generation and the truth found by him remains immortal. Disclaimer: the information given in this presentation is for educational purpose only. It is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical service. Participants shall consult their medical doctors for health reasons before using anything that is disclosed during the course of this presentation. Students shall not use any of the different information given in this presentation while writing their examinations. The idea of celebrating Dr. Hammer's birthday as World GHK Day is a brainchild of Dr. CJ Varghese sir, and without thanking him, the celebration would be incomplete. Since 3 years, we have been celebrating World GNM or GHK Day. We invite all the GNM teachers, GNM beneficiaries, and GNM therapists all across the globe. This humble attempt is to unite the like-minded people who are connected through GHK knowledge and intend to spread the science all over the world with their case studies and testimonials and their own experiences. For the first time, we are celebrating the event for the whole month. Every weekend, we dedicate 3 to 4 hours to pay tribute to Dr. Hammer through the knowledge sharing through our GNM speakers. Hope our efforts are well paid if it reaches maximum number of people who are truly interested in learning this science and in need of this divine knowledge. Tributes to my guru, Dr. Praful Vijaykar sir, for introducing Dr. Hammer's science to Indian homeopaths and thus being the reason for the spread of this knowledge all over India. Today, through the homeopaths, the science is reaching thousands of non-medicos day in and out, which is truly a great beginning for a new paradigm shift. Gratitude to Caroline Marcolin ma'am for she has compiled the discoveries of Dr. Hammer meticulously in her website www.learninggnm.com and made it available for free of cost for everyone on this globe. Now into the topic, what is pain? As I have already mentioned, right from the birth, we all have experienced various types of pains and we all know very well what pain is. The explanation goes like this. A basic bodily sensation that is induced by a noxious stimulus is received by naked nerve endings is associated with actual or potential tissue damage, is characterized by physical discomfort and typically leads to evasive actions. So emotional or mental suffering. So I have given few definitions or explanations for pain here. The purpose of pain is to signal alert against the potential damage and leads to a range of actions to prevent or limit further damage. But the definition given by International Association for the Study of Pain goes like this. Pain is defined as an unpleasant sensory and emotional experience associated with or resembling the associated with actual or potential tissue damage. So this is the word origin, that is the etymology of pain. The word origin gives a meaning as punishment, legal punishment or penalty or compensation. But punishment for what? Penalty for what? To compensate what? Let's see. In medical terminologies, alg is a suffix given for pain and this prefix is given for pain representation. So algia means pain. Otalgia means pain in the ear. Myalgia means pain in the muscles. Arthralgia means pain in the joints. Neuralgia means pain in the nerves. Gastralgia means pain in the stomach. Odontalgia means pain in the teeth. So this prefix is given to represent pain, bad, difficult, also represented through this. So this has many meaning. In some occasions, it is used to represent pain also, as in the case of dysuria, painful urination, dyspepsia, painful digestion, dysphagia, painful swallowing, dysmenorrhea, painful menses, dyspareunia, difficult, painful intercourse. So the classification of pain goes like this. Based on the duration, pain is classified into acute pain or chronic pain. So anything less than 3 to 6 months is considered as acute pain. So acute pain is further divided into somatic pain and visceral pain. Somatic pain is further divided into cutaneous pain or deep somatic pain. So chronic pain is again divided according to cause by conventional medicine as cancer pain and non-cancerous pains. Non-cancerous pains are further classified into chronic musculoskeletal pains and neuropathic pains. So I wish to bring to your attention two modern problems, namely opioid epidemic and CPS, chronic pain syndrome. So opioid epidemic, also known as opioid crisis, rapid increase in the overuse, misuse or abuse and overdose deaths caused by opiates or opioid drugs. So opioid epidemic is nothing but the side effects or deaths or overusage and side effects caused by the misuse or overuse or abuse of opioid and opiate drugs. So chronic pain syndrome, about 25% of people with chronic pains, that is a pain lasting more than 3 to 6 months, will go on to have a condition called chronic pain syndrome. These people have symptoms beyond pain like depression, anxiety, etc., and which interfere with their daily lives also. So chronic pain syndrome is nothing but pain associated with depression, anxiety, and interfering with their day-to-day routines. So statistics says chronic pain is one of the most common reason in US adults seeking medical treatment. The lack of adequate medical treatment for chronic pain is also a catalyst that fuels the ongoing opioid epidemic. A massive increase in addiction to prescription and or illegal opioids and the cause of more than 1 lakh overdose deaths in 2021 according to the CDC. So is it not important to understand pain and to learn the do's and don'ts of pain? So the pain management system is altogether a specialization sector in the conventional medicine. These are the types of pain managements available in conventional medicine: neuropathic pain management, back pain management, knee pain management, shoulder pain management, musculoskeletal and joint pain management, headache or migraine pain management, pelvic pain management, post-surgical pain management, cancer-related pain management. These are all the types of pain management available in conventional medicine. Apart from the conventional medicine management mentioned in the previous slide, we have non-pharmacological pain management techniques like biofeedback mechanism, electrical stimulation, massage therapy, physiotherapy, physical therapy, meditation, mindfulness, nutrition, relaxation techniques, psychotherapy, exercise, heat and cold applications, occupational therapy, music therapy, alternative systems, etc. In spite of the so many techniques available, we still say that there is a lack of proper treatment for pain, and we have a condition called chronic pain syndrome too. Where do we miss? So with our recent gifted mind, we have a question here. Is that due to lack of adequate medical treatment, or is it due to lack of adequate knowledge? Fracture. So the pain is classified by a common man like this, whether it is due to injury or fracture, or it is after a surgery, or it is defined with the location only. So it is the abdomen pain, or the chest pain, or the ear pain, or the teeth pain, or the headache. So when it restricts his movements, it could be a joint pain, or the deeper pain is considered to be joint pains, or the superficial pains are considered as the musculoskeletal pains and sprains. When it is pulling type, they call it as colic, cramp, nerve pains, etc. Cancer pains are totally different. For a common man, pain brings his attention to the affected part and rushes him to seek medical assistance to sort things out. We need to know some basics to understand pain and remove our panic. Nociceptors or pain receptors are nothing but sensory neurons or free nerve endings that have the ability to convert the noxious stimulus into nerve impulse. We have three types of nerve fibers, namely A delta fiber, C fiber, and A beta fibers. So A beta fiber is not a pain fiber actually. So it's not a pain receptor. So A delta fiber and C fibers are only called as nociceptors. They only carry the pain signals. So A delta fibers carry sharp, fast pains, and they are myelinated fibers. They have a low threshold for firing and fast conduction speed. Hence, they are responsible for transmitting the first pain felt. When you have a hit or when you have a needle prick, the first pain felt is conducted through the A delta fibers. They are myelinated fibers, and they have a low threshold, and that is why they carry the pain faster, immediately. So they carry rapid, sharp pain and are responsible for the initial reflex response to acute pains. C fibers are non-myelinated and small pain fibers. They are very small, so they are not myelinated also. So they conduct pain slowly. C fiber activation leads to slow, deep throbbing pains that linger long after the initial sharp pain abates. So after the injury has subsided also, we experience some small dull pains. No, it is because of the C fibers only. The majority of pain sensations travel via C fibers and project to areas of the brain that evoke emotional response such as displeasure and anxiety. So the long-term effect of pain is because of the C fibers. So A beta fibers are non-pain neurons, as I told already, but they are highly myelinated and and they are of large diameter, therefore allowing rapid signal conduction. They are not pain fibers. They mediate the normal sensations of touch, pressure, vibration, etc. So the joint position or the proprioception is also due to the A beta fibers only. So the A delta fibers and the C fibers carry pain, whereas A beta fibers carry non-noxious stimulus only. That is like touch, pressure, vibration and all. Nerve signals travel faster in larger fibers and fastest of all when the nerve has a myelin sheath. So when the nerve fiber has a myelin sheath, it conducts pain fastly. This has a very important role. We need to remember this. So where are the nociceptors or the pain receptors present in our body? They are present all over the body. So the somatic structures like skin, muscles, connective tissues, bone, joint, everywhere it is present. And the visceral structures like the every organs inside. So liver, gastrointestinal tract, organs, every organs it is present. But we need to understand that nociceptors are not present in the brain. So nociceptors are not present in the brain means what does the pain inside the head means? What are our headaches? So GNM or GHK has a answer, scientific and logical answer for this. I request everyone to watch my second biological law video posted for World GNM Day 2 years ago in our own YouTube channel. So this gives the answer for this question. So be it an acute or chronic pain, in a broader sense, the pain either comes from the visceral organ or from the framework system, that is the musculoskeletal system or the support system of our body. Most of the time, the location of the pain and the knowledge about the organ present in that area are important to dismantle our unwanted fears. Because I have seen people who do not know that heart is on the left side and get panicky when they get pain anywhere in the chest or in the thorax region. Same is applicable for the abdomen also. So the simple image will give a brief knowledge about the underlying organs and it's worth knowing too. After knowing this, you will be in a better position to know whether it is the kidney which is affected or it is only the gastric pain or it is in the stomach area or in the liver region. Kind of knowledge will come when you learn this 9 quadrants of the abdomen. After all, our body is our own responsibility. I always emphasize on this. So no knowledge goes waste, no harm in learning all these things. What can activate a pain receptor? So mechanical, noxious stimuli, that is a pressure, swelling, incisions, thermal noxious agent, that is the burns or the scalds, and the chemical noxious stimuli, that is a toxic substance or the ischemia. Let us keep the mechanical and thermal stimuli aside as they are caused by injury or accidents mostly and are usually brief, whereas the chemical stimuli are normally long lasting. Let us focus on the chemical noxious stimuli, which is potential enough to cause chronic pains. So the causes for the visceral or the chronic pains inside our body, that is the internal organs, and the chemical stimuli released by them. So the causes for visceral pain are ischemia. Ischemia is nothing but the cutoff of the blood supply to the organ. So chemicals released, acidic gastric juice from the ruptured ulcer. That is an example given for that chemical substance released. So spasm of the hollow organs, prostaglandin. So people who have attended my female reproductive system series 1 webinar must be knowing this. So in that I explained how this prostaglandin is responsible for producing this dysmenorrhea. So spasms of the hollow organs, over distension of hollow organs. So ischemia, chemicals released, and the spasms and over distension. These are all the cause for the visceral pain. The visceral pain or the organ, internal organ pains are vague and poorly located. But what causes ischemia, chemical reactions, or spasms, or over distension? When cells are damaged, they release numerous chemical mediators and cytokinins. If sufficient chemical mediators are released, nociceptors, that is the pain receptors, are activated and an action potential is initiated, causing a nerve impulse. It is something similar to the electricity carried through the wires only. So action potential is created and the action potential is transmitted through the nerves as nerve impulse. When these impulses are conducted centrally from the spinal cord to the brain, the person becomes aware of the pain. So as soon as the stimuli is affecting your is released or the stimuli is released, you will not feel the pain. Only when it reaches your brain, you become aware that you are having a pain. Only after the chemical stimulus coming from the damaged tissue activates the pain receptors and the pain mechanism happens. So only after the chemicals from the damaged tissue activate the pain receptors, you feel the pain. So to conclude, pain is happening at the end. To put it in GHK terms, the conflict precedes the tissue level changes, be it cell proliferation or cell damage. What are the chemical mediators produced by the tissue damage? The main chemical mediators are prostaglandins, 5-HT, serotonin, potassium, lactic acid, hydrogen ion, bradykinin, ATP, histamine, etc. These chemical mediators produce acute inflammation of the damaged area. So signs of inflammation include increase in temperature, that is the heat or what we call as fever, redness, swelling, pain, loss of function. So many of these symptoms, that is pus, inflammation, swelling, pain, occur when any wound or tissue damage occurs, and this is called as healing or the repair work of the body. Do you remember of hearing all these anywhere in GHK learning? Yes, it is the second biological natural law of GHK. So the second biological law of GNM talks about the two phases of the SBS, and if you want to know about this in detail, you may go and watch the video posted 2 years back on the topic, on this very topic. In the second law, when we are studying about the healing phase or the PCL, post-conflicto lysis, or after resolving the conflict, we get these signs in the first part of the healing phase, namely the PCLA. So what does pain mean? Healing is happening through your internal doctor, your biological wisdom, present in every cell of your body. So keep your hands off. This is why I have chosen the topic as no pain, no gain. Only if conflict or lysis happens on the psyche level, the healing is possible. Only if healing happens, the signs of inflammation, including pains, are possible. Only if you allow the pain or any signs of inflammation to run its course, you can resume your healthy normal state. So no pain, no gain. So GHK or GNM is a game changer. Pain is not a disease. It is a healing symptom after the psyche has resolved the conflict. Dr. Hammer's groundbreaking discovery reveals that pain is nothing but healing in progress. Reasons for chronic pains from GHK point of view. So chronic pains may be due to repeated conflicts, or it could be due to tracks or extended tracks, or it could be due to hanging healing. Most of the time, it is because of the hanging healing only. Healing will be happening, but we keep repeatedly hinder the healing process. So to understand all these things also, you may refer the second biological law video. So you will understand what tracks and extended tracks, what is hanging healing and all. So repeated interference with healing causes the conflict a hanging healing and makes the pain a chronic pain. So what can interfere with the pain or the healing? It is the painkillers we use or the mismanagements we do. So pain has a meaning and a purpose. Without understanding that meaning and purpose, we cannot escape from pains. No pain, no gain. Give you an example. So musculoskeletal pains and joint pains are seen during the healing of the self-devaluation conflict. So you can refer the video available in our Global GNM website about the self-devaluation conflict. I have made a video with the first biological law. In that, I have given in detail about the self-devaluation conflict and the components involved in that. So you may refer to that. So most of the time, the chronic pains are because of the musculoskeletal or the joint SBS only. So other than that, only visceral pains are happening. So if you want to know in detail about the musculoskeletal and joint pains and the conflict behind them, you may refer the video in our website. So no pain, no gain. The real pain allows the repair to be completed. So no pain, no gain. The pains you take to learn GHK allows you to stay strong with the right knowledge. So no pain, no gain. Let us understand the mechanism of pain to understand better about the pain. I tried my level best to simplify this complex mechanism. This pain mechanism is called as nociception. A damaging or potentially damaging stimulus or a noxious stimulus activates the nociceptor. Say, for example, a hit of a hammer or a needle prick on your fingertip activates your pain receptors. This simple example I am giving so that you will understand the concept in a better way, but this is only applicable for the injury and the pain applicable for the injury only. But nociceptors are present everywhere in the body and they are activated not only by injury, but by thermal stimulus also, not only by mechanical stimulus, they are activated by thermal stimulus also, chemical stimulus coming from the internal organs also. So simply to remember or to understand this concept, I am giving this example. This is applicable for chronic pain also. So say for example, if you have a hit of a hammer or a needle prick on your fingertip, this activates your pain receptors. The response of the pain receptors to the stimuli is called as transduction. So the activation of the pain receptors by the stimulus is called as transduction. This is the first step in the pain mechanism. The pain receptor sending the action potential or the nerve impulse or threat signal to the brain via the spinal cord through the ascending pathway is called as transmission. So you can see here from the affected part that pain signals are transmitted through the spinal cord contralaterally to the brain. So this whole transmission, this whole process is called as transmission. That is the threat signal is passed from the affected organ to the brain. That is called as transmission. This is the second step in the pain mechanism. That is a nociception. If the brain perceives the threat as credible, the sensation of pain is created to direct attention to that body part. So only if the brain perceives the threat as credible, valid, then only it will send the sensation of pain to that part of the body to bring the attention to that part. So this is called as perception. So the brain function to perceive the credibility of the threat is called as perception. This is a third step in the pain mechanism. And this is a very vital step to be understood also in pain management. Now the threat can hopefully be mitigated or ignored or reduced, and this is called as modulation. This is a fourth step in pain mechanism. So this also is very much important in understanding the pain management of the pain management also. So pain mechanism has 4 steps: transmission, transduction, perception, and modulation. Transduction is stimulus to activation of the pain receptors and sending of the threat signal in the form of nerve impulse. So transmission is a pain receptor sending the impulse from the affected part to the brain via the spinal cord. Perception is a brain perceiving the validity or the credibility of the signal reaching the brain, and modulation is the judgment given by the brain whether to amplify the pain or to ignore the pain or to modify it or what to do next. Like, now you may ask me, why should I know all these? Pain transmission is a result of complex peripheral and central processes, but by understanding the 4 steps of nociception, we can understand the complex process of pain transmission, and this knowledge is essential for assessment of pain and for managing pain effectively. Because your body is your responsibility. It is the only place where you can live till you breathe. It is not your doctor's business alone. So now we will see what happens within the spinal cord. So I told you already that transmission is a process of sending the signal from the affected part to the brain via the spinal cord. So there is a structure in the spinal cord called as substantia gelatinosa. So this is called as the gateway of pain. The first order neuron coming from the affected part enters the spinal cord, so and transmits the impulses to the brain through the spinal cord. So thus nociceptor input from the right side. I showed in the picture, no? So when the nerves are entering the spinal cord, they cross. Here you can see they cross this side and then they cross this side and then they enter the brain. So nociceptor input from the right side of the body travels up the left side of the spinal cord, whereas pain signals from the left side of the body travel on the right side of the spinal cord. This is very important when it comes to the GHK understanding of pain. So we say about the principle, laterality, handedness and all, no? So this should be understood properly. The gateway control theory of pain. So this is also very important to know how to tackle your pains. The gate control theory of pain was put forward by Ronald and Patrick in 1965. They proposed that there was a gate mechanism in the central nervous system that opened to allow pain messages through to the brain and closed to prevent them getting through the brain. So is that not a very interesting thing to know? So this is the main theme or point of my presentation. You must all understand this very well. The gate theory says that as these pain messages come into the spinal cord and the central nervous system, before they even reach the brain, they can be amplified, turned down, or even blocked out. Large diameter sensory nerve fibers, that is, as I told in the beginning of the presentation, no, A beta fibers responsible for transmitting signals of touch to the brain have the ability to close the pain gate and so block signals from other smaller diameter nerve fibers which transmit pain. So A beta fibers are non-pain fibers, but they have the ability to close the pain gates. So we will see it with an example. So to explain this concept, that is a gate control theory of pain, I have given this example. So this is a very well-known universal example. So when you get a hit or a fall in a part, you keep rubbing that part, no? So there is a logic or a science behind this, and that is called as a gate control theory of pain. So say for example, if a child falls over and hurts her knee or head, and if she rubs or somebody else around her rubs that part, the signals from that sensation of touch temporarily blocks the pain signal travel from that part to the brain. So this is the simple example to make you understand the theory of gate control. So the nerve impulse from the pain receptors enter the spinal cord. From here, it is transmitted to the brain. There is an area in the spinal cord called substantia gelatinosa. The pain signals can be interrupted at the level of substantia gelatinosa of the spinal cord, which acts as a gate. So in this area, the primary neurons release the excitatory neurotransmitters called substance P and glutamate. These excitatory neurons bind the EPSP potential in the membrane of the secondary nerve, leading to an action potential. From the secondary neurons, the impulse travel contralaterally to the thalamus via the spinothalamic tract. The tertiary neurons extend from the thalamus to the post-central gyri of the parietal lobe of the brain. When the impulse reaches this parietal lobe, the individual becomes conscious or aware of the pain. So, when non-painful stimulus like deep touch, so this is what I told you now. The primary fibers secrete the excitatory neurons, which are called substance P from the C fiber and glutamate from the A delta fiber. And when these excitatory neurons are transmitted, so at the same time, when a non-painful stimulus from the deep touch activates the Pacinian corpuscle located in the dermis of the skin, this deep touch is transmitted through DCML system. This DCML system can inhibit pain signals by activating inhibitory neurons. So inhibitory neurons reduce the pain signal, and this is how before the pain signals reach your brain, you can reduce the pain signal and you can reduce the pain sensation. So what are the pain inhibitory neurotransmitters? So they are the serotonin, opiate receptors, namely the endorphin, enkephalin, and dysnorphin. So this is a simple representation to show this concept. You can switch off your chronic pains. This gate control theory is not only applicable for acute pains or injuries, but it is the best thing to be applied for our chronic pains too. Learn to handle your pain without painkillers, which are actually the killers. So switch off your chronic pains. So someday chronic pains can be intense, while other days the pain is forgettable, as if the message have been blocked by a switch or a gate. In this theory, the nerve gates in the spinal cord can determine whether the pain message from the periphery of the body are allowed to reach the brain or not. So this is the gate theory. So gate control theory of pain suggests that the body and mind have a connection. So this is what is explained in GNM also. The opening and closing of the pain gates are influenced by sensory factors such as physical well-being, cognitive factors such as thoughts about the pain, and emotional factors such as depression. When used correctly, these factors can keep the gates closed and reduce chronic pain. So let's learn how to close gates and be careful not to open them. So switch on your pains. How can you switch on your pains or open the pain gates? So these are done by the tracks and other factors. Sensory factors like injury, inactivity, long-term narcotic use, slow pacing of activities. Cognitive factors like focusing always on the chronic pain, having no hobbies, no outdoor activities, worrying about the pain, worrying about the sequences of the pain. Everything will switch on your pain. So emotional factors like depression, anger, anxiety, stress, frustration, hopelessness, helplessness, everything will switch on your pain gates. So how can you switch off your pains? So these pain gates can be closed. So this is the best pain management system available on this earth. So sensory factors like activities of moderate intensity, relaxation techniques, meditation, cognitive factors like developing a new hobby and interest, having thoughts that help cope with the pain, distracting oneself from pain, emotional factors like positive attitude, happiness, stress management, acceptance of help, control of one's own life. These things will switch off or close your pain gates. So this is what is called as GNM therapy in GNM. Helping the person understand why he is suffering with that pain. through the conflict understanding and helping him to manage the pain effectively through all these practices, like developing new hobbies, having a positive attitude, and keeping oneself happy, keeping one's own life in control and all. We will be helping the person to manage his pain efficiently without any external chemical means. So only by understanding the pain mechanism effectively, pain management is possible. So here is a picture which I got from the internet only. So you have pharmacological and non-pharmacological management of pain. So at which level of these things are happening or working, you can understand from this diagram. So where do which painkiller act? So this is yet another reason why I am speaking in detail about the pain mechanism. So we have the 4 steps in the pain mechanism. So local anesthesias act on the peripheral level, that is the skin level or the affected part level. So anesthesias like opioids are acting on the spinal level and which are acting on the brain level. So the painkillers which are acting on the higher levels will have more damage. This also you must know. So now you know why the techniques like rubbing, massaging, heat application, cold application, music therapy, relaxing techniques, imaginations, hobbies, etc. help you to reduce pain. So modulation and inhibition of pain. So individuals will respond to identical pain stimulus differently. So even if it is a needle prick, one person will respond in one fashion and another person will respond in a different fashion. So even with the identical pain stimulus, individual persons will respond individually. So the evidence of pain modulation was first formally recorded by a physician serving the US Army during World War II. This is a very interesting fact. That is why I have given this in my presentation, so that you will understand how emotions are directly related to your pain management. So this was recorded by a person serving the US Army during the World War II, who observed as many as 3/4 of badly wounded soldiers reported none to only moderate pain and did not require pain relief medications. So you can imagine how painful it would be to have injuries during a war. So those people who were very badly injured were not having pain, or they were having only moderate pain. So according to his report, the men were alert and responsive, and the injuries were not trivial, including compound fractures and penetrating wounds. This led him to the conclusion that strong emotions block pains. So it is now generally accepted that the experience of pain does not solely rely on noxious input, but many variables interplay with the experience, including your memory, mood, environment, attention, and expectations. So these are all included in the first biological law of GNM. So you may all read it, or people who know it very well can relate. So ultimately, this means the resultant pain experience to the same sensory input can vary considerably. It is the brain's job to weigh all the information and decide whether creating pain is the most appropriate response. So this provides a necessary survival function, since it allows the pain experience to be altered according to the situation rather than having pain always dominate us. So this is a very important thing in GNM therapy or in pain management. So we can alter the pain. Instead of pain dominating us, we can alter the pain. So that is what is explained through this example or the record from the person. So for example, if you sprain your ankle while trying to escape from a lion chasing you, the body realizes stopping to nurse the injured ankle is not a good survival technique and modifies the pain response to allow you to keep running. So these are done by the endogenous opioids. So what are endogenous opioids? Endogenous means produced inside your body. Opioids are painkillers. That is the analgesics. Analgesics are internally produced in your body itself. This is yet another thing you have to know. So during times of stress, pain or emotion, the brain creates its own analgesia through the secretion of endogenous opioids from multiple points in the central nervous system. So these are classified as endorphin, dysnorphin, and enkephalin. I told you already while explaining about the pain inhibitor neurons, no? So that is only given here. So the point to be noted here is when you are in high level of stress or when you are in high emotions, your own brain secretes analgesia. So your own body secretes this endogenous opioids. So can you relate it with something in the GHK also? So this is what is told in the second biological law as well. Remember that why and how we are active physically and mentally when we are conflict active. So it is told in the it is told in the second biological law by Dr. Hammer that during the conflict activity, the person will not have any pains. He will not have appetite. He will not sleep. He will be more energetic. So the zero pain situation during conflict activity is because of the endogenous opioids secreted from the brain itself to make you alert, to make you or allow you to find a solution for that conflict. So opioid receptors to which these endogenous opioids bind to or distributed throughout the body. So even right from the central nervous system, everywhere it is present. That is why during the conflict active phase, you don't feel any pain. So it is only after the conflict is resolved, the pain is felt. So this is a game changer, I told, no? So when you have a pain, you don't have a disease. When you have a pain, you have to understand that you have already healed it from your psyche level and this is going to end by its course because the cause is already turned off. So the effect is only going on. So the effect also will wean off in due course of time. This knowledge gives you what to say, confidence and patience to wait till the healing symptoms get over. So why all these endogenous opioids are secreted means that is what is called as biological wisdom. So biological wisdom or the homeostasis is the maintenance of the optimum internal environment so that the functioning is not affected and the person is running the show. So this I have given in detail in my 7th anniversary celebration video also. You may watch that also from our website. So here I wanted to tell about this Dr. B.M. Hegde's video on placebo effect. You may watch this 18-minute video on YouTube where the people's doctor, he is called as people's doctor by our Indian people. So Dr. B.M. Hegde sir explains beautifully about this pain management system by our own brain without medicines. So he gives an example where two sets of people are given. One set of people are given high-end morphines. Morphines are given for accident or fractured or highly injured people to completely get rid of the pain. So those people were given intravenous morphines and they were told that these are all nothing trial and error based kind of painkillers only. This may help you reduce pain or it may not work like that. They were telling to one set of people. For the another set of people, they were giving the intravenous injection of just normal saline only. But they were told that we are giving you the best painkillers on the earth. So within a few minutes or some time, you will be completely out of pain. So the people who were given the morphines intravenously were all having the pain as such. The people who were given only saline but told that it was morphine, They're completely out of pain. So what is happening here? That is what he asks in the video. So the endogenous opioids are secreted. Your own brain is secreting the opioid and completely nullifying the pain. This is possible. This is possible. This is possible. That is why I wanted to tell this video here. So mind you, Dr. B.M. Hegde sir is neither a homeopath nor a GNM known person, but the truth is ultimate and outstand everything. He asks at the end of the video also, who cured your pain? He himself says that your own brain. So this is what is called as biological wisdom or homeostasis. This is from the book Terminal Cancer, a Misdiagnosis by Danny Carroll sir. So Danny Carroll sir has provided lots of videos and webinars for our Global GHk Foundation. So you may watch them as well. So in this page, this is a very small book of 125 pages only. It is available on Amazon also. You can buy and you can read the book. So he shares his own experience, cancer experience, and how he landed in GHK in this book. So this is the best practical book ever. So I request everyone to read this. So in page 23, he shares how he could manage his major surgery without any painkiller. I felt this to be relevant thing to share along with my topic. So I'm posting these pages for you to read and educate yourself. In 2019, I had cancer in my jaw, says Danny sir. So I finally worked out that it had been triggered by a 5-second disagreement with my wife, which made the conflict incredibly difficult to locate. By the time I was able to switch off the cancer program, all my teeth had fallen out on one side of my mouth. I had 5 hours of reconstructive surgery, including a bone graft, to rebuild the jaw and replace my teeth. I took one painkiller at the time of the oral surgery and another in the evening. After that, I switched off the pain from the surgery and did not need to take any more. It was a truly mind-blowing experience. This was the first time I tried to switch off pain from physical trauma, oral surgery. Previously, I had only turned off pain that come from the distress following a biological conflict shock. So he gives a beautiful technique for the readers to switch off the conflicts. So this switching off the whole biological program is possible means why not it is applicable for pain. Pain is already a healing symptom only. So I read another article while preparing for this presentation. It is worth reading, I think. So I'm sharing the link with you here. So, or you can Google it. Deadly truth behind the painkillers. So these are all the long-term effects of painkillers on the brain. So depression, I told you know. So if the painkiller is acting on the lower level, it will damage less. So if it is acting on the higher level, spinal cord level or on the brain level, the damage will be more. So long-term effects of painkillers include depression, inability to control feels of pain or pressure, impaired cognition, physical dependency, addictions, etc. Those who are truly interested in knowing the reason behind these manifestations are requested to read the schizophrenic constellation available in www.learninggnm.com. So I can briefly tell you that the repeated hindrance of healing leading to hanging healing. I showed in the presentation, no? So hanging healing of the conflict and leading to schizophrenic constellations in due course of time. This is the reason why these long-term effects are happening. So the biological conflict linked to myelin sheath is a touch conflict. Why I'm talking about the myelin sheath is, I told you, no, so it is about the myelin sheath, which is responsible for conduction of pain in what speed and all. So A delta fibers have myelin sheath and they conduct fast pains. So the A beta fibers, which are non-pain fibers, but they are very much insulated with the myelin sheath. So C fibers are responsible for the slow pains and they are completely not myelinated. So now we will see the conflict behind this myelin sheath. So myelin sheath conflict is touch conflict, means not wanting to be touched because the touch is experienced as painful, unpleasant, or unwanted. The fear of being touched, physical abuse, sexual abuse can already evoke the conflict. The myelin sheath also responds to a pain conflict triggered by a acute pain due to injury, fall, or hit. Severe pain, for example, bone pain, can also activate the conflict. The Spanish called the GNM or GHK as La Medicina Sagrada, the sacred medicine. Dr. Hammer says we have to resolve our conflicts twice. First in real terms, then spiritually. So, whether the pain is a punishment or penalty or it is a healing, you need to understand. So, kill the pain and kill yourself, or understand the pain and allow the pain or distract the pain and wait for the biological wisdom to take care of yourself instead of interfering with chemicals. Hope, hold on, pain ends. So before I end, I request all of you to subscribe to our www.globalgnm.com website. Subscription for a year allows you to watch paid contents for free for 1 year and also allows you to attend the weekly webinars freely on various useful topics by eminent speakers from our Global GHk team. So you are also requested to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Global GNM, so that you can watch all the contents available. They are all very precious contents because many testimonies are given by common people who are non-medicos, and they have given testimonials like how they have managed their disease conditions only with the knowledge of GNM. So thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for your patience listening. Thank you. Thank you one and all.